1, 2, 3. Okay, so hello. We have our last presentation for today. It's from Michal Hru, and the topic is what's new in openSUSE Connect.
Hi, thank you for introducing me, and thank you for staying till this late on this event. And yeah, I will be speaking about openSUSE Connect. I will start by introducing openSUSE Connect. Is there somebody who actually knows what openSUSE Connect is already? Okay. One guy, which means about 1/10 of the audience. Okay. Some time ago, we used to have some users database that was called usersopenSUSE.org. It was used to keep some users' data, and you could use it actually to change your email alias and IRC cloak, but nobody used it, and actually not many people know about that it actually exists. So there were people coming and asking, how can I change my alias? And then they found out that there is actually an application for that. So we wanted in my team to do something about that and do something better. So we decided to create something to what was called openSUSE Connect. It was still supposed to be user database, but we wanted to be more flexible, to be able to get more data, and we were trying to keep users a little bit more engaged and try to keep them, trick them into keeping their data up to date. And yeah, try to actually make them to use it for something. And while we were thinking about doing something new, we also wanted to have some nice API so we can integrate it with a lot of other stuff. And obviously we wanted to merge it into infrastructure that we already have in that navigation bar on top that is on all our websites, so you can easily find it. To do that, we chose open source software, obviously open source. We chose software called ELK, which has some advantages, like it's written in PHP, which is actually advantage in the way that it's easy to host it, and it's easy to try to break it or do something with that. So it's easy to join the development. ELK has quite a wide community, and it's quite flexible engine, so we could bend it in many ways, and we could extend it. What can it do now? It reached the goals that we asked for, and one of the important things that we wanted to do is to handle memberships, because you might know that we have openSUSE members, which are people who contributed a lot to openSUSE. They get special status, and they can participate in elections and vote for our board. And voting for the board is also handled by openSUSE Connect. But while we were doing something new, we tried to merge also some other stuff, like it can show you your open bug reports, it can show you your fate requests, so it can actually become your home page that you will use every day and just have a quick look what's going on and what you should do, like fix your bugs. And you can do some other stuff as well. Now, What I want to speak mainly about and what I wanted to show is what happened during this year Google Summer of Code project. Actually projects. We had few proposals to extend Connect, and one of these proposals was proposed by me and was mentored by me. And this proposal was to add Karma into openSUSE Connect. Let me speak a little bit about Google Summer of Code. We already have it on project meeting. So it's a program sponsored by Google. We as an open source project applied. We were selected. Then we chose what tasks and projects we wanted to work on. We selected some mentors, we selected some students, and yeah. If mentors started working with their students, and in case that everything went well, students get some money in return for their work, they will learn some stuff, and mentor will get some finished product or some finished patch or something like that. I was mentoring for second year, and I tried to also mention a little bit of how does it go if you want to try to mentor. Your experience can vary quite a bit depending on what is your project, what student you choose, how is your student working, and actually how good job you did as a mentor in knowing your student before you started. You can have a student that asks you every day for questions. You have to explain things again and again and again, and you will be quite hopeless, and you will be losing your hairs and stuff like that. But even these students sometimes learn stuff and actually overcome this stuff by working really, really hard. And on the other hand, you might be lucky or know how to select a good student and end up with a student that works mostly by him or herself and just ask you for the really interesting parts of the problem and engage you in some discussion. So you will be talking about the problem and finding solution together, and then the student might even propose some great enhancements to your idea. And that was actually what happened to me this year. So I was quite happy because I also didn't have too much time this year. So I was happy that my student was working mostly by herself and I didn't have much work to do as a mentor. And as I don't have any experience as a student, I wanted to ask Zumbi here to share a little bit of his experience as a Google Summer of Code student. He was working also on Connect. So, Zumbi?
Yeah. Hello, this year I participated with openSUSE in Google Summer of Code by developing a plugin for openSUSE Connect. I think that, okay, it was a good experience. And I could say that we need new features to be implemented for Connect. So it would be a good idea for students or for our developers to get into Connect and start developing. It's very interesting.
Okay, thank you for your feedback. Yeah, as I was speaking, openSUSE Connect is written in PHP, so it's great way to start working on something. It's quite easy to get into it. And what was my student doing was karma. So, as I said, it was this year's Google Summer of Code project. I proposed it last year, but last year it didn't work out, unfortunately. But this year I got a great student, Priyanka, and yeah, she started working on this project and she successfully finished it. So, what was the main idea? We wanted to collect some numbers behind the contributions that people do and basically let people brag about their contribution. And we are hoping that it will motivate people to contribute even more so they can brag more, because people like to brag about what they did. So, as we have multiple different guys in our community doing a lot of different stuff, we wanted not just one single karma, but give something to developers, give something to ambassadors, give something to documentation guys, and reward all of them for something that they do. So, final implementation is as a plugin in Elk, and it shows up as a widget that you can add to your page, and it collects various data. We wanted to access various sources that are available on openSUSE, so it gathers bug reports. It also scans Twitter for your tweets about openSUSE, because if you are an ambassador, you are promoting openSUSE by tweeting, blogging, and doing stuff like that. So it collects tweets, blog posts for Planet openSUSE, tweets regarding with correct hashtag. For documentation guys, it connects wiki edits, and for developers, as I said, it collects bug reports and OBS commits. So, this is how it may look like in the end. You will get kind of nice gecko depending on what you are doing and what was your contributions mostly. This image changes based on how many points did you get for various activities. You've got a different gecko for developers, different gecko for ambassadors, and what you achieved most points in will give you the correct gecko. You see how many bugs did I fix, how many broad service commits did I have since the plugin was deployed, unfortunately. So I missed some of the points that I could have. Same with Planet openSUSE posts and tweets and wiki edits. And also one thing that my student implemented and suggested was to be able to give other users some kudos. So this is how it looks like. And let's try to do some live demo of the Connect. If I figure out how to use this. Unfortunately, my laptop just broke before the presentation, so this is not mine. Okay, so this is my own page on openSUSE Connect. You can see that I already contributed a little bit, so I became openSUSE member. This is one thing that is shown on all members' pages. And you can see quite some information collected about me. And down here, you see the Karma widget that I was talking about, which my student developed. You can see what I did, and you can see some features that I either proposed or was interested in. That's integration with openSUSE features, features.opensuse.org. And as you can see, it's whole Connect is skinned similarly to all other openSUSE web pages, and if I click somewhere, I can easily get to other part of our website, and yeah, Connect is here in the menu. So if you want to change something like your mail aliases, it can be do via here. You can see my IRC cloak or email alias. That was the features that we were aiming for at the beginning, and yeah, I can break what I did for openSUSE with this schema plugin. So overall, I was really happy with my student, and I'm happy that we managed to get this through. It doesn't look very difficult, and it actually isn't that difficult, but as I said, there are multiple sources. So my student was studying APIs from multiple different services and implementing that. So that was I would say, the most difficult part and the thing that she learned from that. And yeah, that's end of the talk. Now, if you have any questions. No questions, so thank you for your attention. I believe this was the last talk of today, so thank you for coming today, and see you tomorrow.